Hi my babies. So today's video is gonna be on when to stay versus when to leave. I think that's saying a lot right there. Yeah. You know, once I close my leg, we gotta get into it. Matter of fact, where's the tea? Literally got my tea right here. A little cup. Yeah, so no, I'm playing. This is for jokes, but not really. So I think that if you've been contemplating leaving, I think of two questions. Firstly, are you the type of person who will cut someone off at the inconvenience of anything? Like if they just stress you out, they don't seem like anything, like you just cut them off for anything. We take a look at that. Or, no, if you're considering leaving someone, but you feel as though maybe you don't know how, maybe you don't know if you should, maybe you feel like you love the person, but it's not a good idea, or maybe you know it's a good idea, but you're just not sure of what's on the other side of that. I think we should definitely start looking into what that is. Like straight up, we should. You know, a couple of things I want us to talk about first too. The only reasons that you should stay in anything that is remotely unhealthy is if you know for a fact that it'll pass, if it is just for a very short season, and if it is not necessarily that person's character. If you want to know if the actions or the questions that you're having is necessarily that person's character, I want you to take a look at a couple of things, like how often has this person done this? Does this person know any other ways to maybe communicate, to maybe love me? Because we all speak a different love language, but having a different love language does not mean in any sense, way, shape, or form we should be dealing with anything toxic or remotely unhealthy. Ain't nobody supposed to be beating on you, yelling at you, controlling you, doing any of that stuff. And it's a big difference of having a mutual respect with your partner to ensure that you guys are both comfortable and not having, you know, too many interferences or everybody in your business. You know, your relationship with your partner is yours and yours only, you know, versus you hiding what it is that's going on in your relationship from the world, because maybe if people knew what was really going on, you know, it'd be embarrassing. Straight up. I think those are some real big signs on maybe understanding when you should leave. I don't want to say that some things like that can't be worked out, because they can, but they take dire effort. That's it. The right person, I'm not going to say they're not going to treat you badly. No, I am going to say that. They shouldn't be treating you badly. But we're human. We do have instances where it's like, okay, you're not perfect. Okay, maybe you yelled at me today. Okay, maybe we got into each other's faces and, I don't know, threw some eggs at the wall. Okay? That's not healthy either. But if that person, you know, normally loves on you well and doesn't make you question their love for you, that's not going to necessarily come in a form of control or manipulation either. I'm finding too that I'm meeting a lot of people, and even myself, I've dealt with a lot of manipulative people. And I hate the idea of using the word narcissist, because I do feel like it's very loosely passed around. I do. But sometimes I do look at things and I'm like, yeah, you're being a bit narcissistic. Like, a lot of times when you're dating young as well, I'd say I'm relatively young. Being in your 30s, relatively young. You got to also understand what comes with that generation and what you're looking for within your generation. We have been passed down a lot of generational trauma, so when we get into relationships, 9 times out of 10, we're meeting people who don't know how to communicate. We're meeting people who have undiagnosed mental disorders, who have anger issues sometimes, maybe even a tweet of narcissism, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's just what it is, and sometimes it's in us too. And we love to sit there and be like, ain't nothing wrong with me, because your mama and them, you know, they don't think it's nothing wrong with them, so you won't want to admit it's nothing wrong with you. But that's wrong. That's very, very wrong. You should not be out here enabling anybody, even your mama. And yes, I said it. I don't enable mine. and I love my mama to death. But we as a society need to do better, and we're not going to be able to do better if we're enabling each other's behaviors, especially as women. You want to be a strong woman, you want to be the epitome of what a woman is. You have to understand your boundaries, you have to understand your worth, you have to understand having a balanced masculine and feminine energy within yourself. That means not necessarily being too over masculine and manly. And I'm not talking about sex here either. Like, who you sleep with is your business. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about your energy towards the world. You don't gotta be overly aggressive in order to get your point across. You don't gotta be overly meek, timid, talk low. No, you're a woman. Be who you are. Be who you are. And you can be shy too, you know, like if that's your vibe, that's your vibe. But you gotta be able to step into that power when it's needed. Otherwise, at the end of the day, you're the only one that suffers. And if at the end of the day we're looking to create the life that we want to live, we should be mindful of what it is that we're looking to create. You want a happy and healthy life, you strive for a happy and healthy life. You want a good relationship, you evaluate your current one and say, does this align with me? Does this align with what I want? Do the values of this person match with mine? Do they do things that make me look at them sideways? Would I do that to them? Straight up. Don't be putting up with nobody cheating if you don't cheat. I'm not. You shouldn't be cheating anyways. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Y'all gonna be laughing. But I'm saying don't put up with things that you shouldn't be cheating either. Nobody should be getting back. It shouldn't be none of that tiffy-tie shit. None of the petty things. It should be as simple as, I'm settling down with you. I'm willing to treat you well. I'd like you to add to the growth that I already have. And if you don't have anything growth-wise that you're ready to offer, that you have to offer, then you need to work on that as well. There's nothing wrong with taking some time to get to know yourself. Do not be afraid of the idea of missing out. A lot of times I think we think that if we don't get into something relationship-wise, that it'll pass us, the time will pass us, our eggs, you know, if you want to have kids, you know, the eggs they're gonna disappear. We think we're not doing it right. We're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves, and yes, being a woman is a lot of pressure. I'm not gonna act like it's not. It is. But the pressure is intended to make you stronger. No diamond was built without pressure. I'm sorry. It just wasn't. I wouldn't have been able to get to where I am today if I didn't experience nothing but bad heartbreaks. And I don't want you guys to think that that's all I've experienced. I've experienced long-term, healthy, and happy love. I have. And sorry, nothing beats it. Nothing beats it. And I want that all for you guys. I do. And being in a healthy and loving union does not equal codependency either, which is why no matter what happens, I'm okay with being a single or a plural. I'm okay with being a we or an I. I still have my own individuality nonetheless. I still know who I am, and there are certain things about me that I'm not changing just because I love somebody. You understand? People will accept you for who you are. That doesn't mean that they should accept your shit though. Don't come into relationships with baggage, unhealthy communication styles, generational depth, trauma, and think that someone's just gonna be okay with accepting that, because they're not. Obviously, in a perfect world, you know, a lot of people would be okay with putting up with that, but most people haven't even dealt with looking in the mirror for themselves, so they might not be able to handle your shit well either. You gotta be patient with people. You gotta be patient with yourself. We really, really do as a collective, because I'm feeling like, you know, we're not seeing the true value in what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You want to stay with somebody, you make sure that you're staying not out of a need. You make sure that you're staying not because you don't want to feel alone. You make sure you're staying because you're being respected, treated with value. Majority of your days aren't complaining. You make sure that you're staying not because of anyone else's opinion. Oh, I need to be with him. We're in an arranged marriage. You don't gotta do shit. Go do your life thing how you want to do your life thing. I can't speak for the people who are fully in arranged marriages, you know, but if you're living in America, you got the resources, get up out of there, you get up out of there. You do what's best for you. This is your life. You can't expect for people to make choices for you and you to be happy with them. There are some instances where, you know, we're able to make do, but it's like, why would you settle knowing that there's literally something better out there for you? We literally have so much opportunity in this world, and with over 1 million people that live in that live in general, we're so quick to be like, oh, like, these niggas ain't shit, and maybe that's really not the case. Maybe you just haven't found the right one, and maybe you might be attracting partners that are a reflection of things that you need to work on as well. For a long time, I think that I attracted partners when I first started dating that neglected me because I neglected myself. I put up with things and I enabled people to hurt me, to, yeah, just as simple as that, like repeatedly, just putting up with shit. And even the things that I wasn't putting up with, you understand what I'm saying? Like, obviously it's not your fault if you get cheated on, you know, that's not your fault. I'm not blaming anybody for that. But I should have been more mindful of when to stay and when to leave. You know, if you see somebody being sneaky, that's a wrap for me. I'm sorry. You ain't gonna be treating me all types of crazy. That's just it now. But in the past, I understand I was letting people treat me all types of crazy. I was. And that took learning. That took unlearning. Unlearning. That's what it is. It took a lot of unlearning and really recognizing that I don't deserve that. The right person for me ain't gonna make me have to question their actions. They ain't gonna be secretive, putting their phone down, doing all this, all that. And then, because I know my worth, I'm not gonna put up with that anyways. That's it. That's it. And when you start saying no to things that don't serve you, things that do serve you well, they will come on in. Okay? Sending you